Hi, I'm Andrew with TentCraft, and it looks like you're in the market for a heavy-duty pop-up tent. Maybe you're a farmer's market vendor, maybe you're a restaurant that's popping up at an event, maybe you're trying to exhibit at your community's golf outing. Regardless, you need a canopy tent that can withstand heavy winds, unpredictable winds, and not collapse on you or break in the event of a storm rolling through. When you start your search for a heavy-duty canopy tent, you're going to be inundated with results. And at the top, you're going to see products sold by Amazon, Home Depot, Walmart, the big box stores. As a manufacturer of heavy-duty canopy tents, I'm here to tell you today that most of those products that you see at the top of the results aren't heavy-duty canopy tents. So what should you be looking for when shopping for a heavy-duty canopy tent? What actually makes a pop-up tent heavy-duty? Let's break it down and help you make a better decision. The first and most important factor when shopping for a heavy-duty tent is to look at the frame material. Is it made of aluminum or is it made of steel? Cheap recreational tents are often made of steel, while more commercial grade or professional pop-up tents are made with aluminum. The reason for that is steel is cheaper to source than aluminum, which is why you can often find those cheap canopies for $150 or less. Remember though, you get what you pay for. Steel is actually 3 times heavier than aluminum. So if you're going to make a heavy-duty frame using steel, that weight's going to add up really quickly and become very impractical. Aluminum, on the other hand, being 1/3 of the weight, allows manufacturers like TentCraft to make really thick legs that are super durable and still easy to transport from your market or to your event. Next, let's talk about frame weight. Most cheaper 10x10 tents weigh between 25 and 35 pounds. That's great for transportation, not so good in the event of heavy winds, even if your tent is properly ballasted. That's because the legs are likely manufactured to be thin to cut down on weight and material cost. We manufacture our heavy-duty Monarch tent to weigh about 75 pounds, which is a perfect weight for transportation and to give you the confidence that it's not going to blow away at your next event. Next, let's talk about leg profile. Cheaper recreational tents are going to be made with steel, as we discussed, and with a square leg profile, as you can see, similar to this. More commercial grade or heavy-duty canopy tents are either going to use an octagonal or a hexagonal leg profile, similar to this. This allows not only to have a beefier leg, it's super tough and durable, but also when it's on the ground, it's going to be able to grip on any surface area much better. Next, let's talk about foot pads. It's something honestly that we think is often overlooked when shopping for a canopy tent. Most canopy tents, whether they're more professional grade or recreational, just include a very thin, about 1/8 of an inch thick steel pad that honestly gets beat up pretty quickly when you're dragging it across a parking lot. We think a heavy-duty pop-up tent should have foot pads that are made of aluminum. This is the one that we include on our Monarch tent. It should be at least 1/4 of an inch thick, and this is made out of cast iron. If you drag this across a parking lot 16 to 20, 30 times a year, you can be pretty confident that it's going to hold up and it's just going to make your tent feel a lot more stable when you're set up for the day. Finally, let's talk about connector joints. Most pop-up tents connect the scissor elements of the canopy tent using plastic connectors. We think to really have a tent be considered heavy duty, it should be an all aluminum frame, and that means aluminum connector joints. That's why our Monarch tent is manufactured with them and comes with a lifetime warranty. And we just feel like it holds up much better and allows us to do things like an 8-person tent hang and not worry about the tent collapsing. So those are the main factors you should consider when shopping for a heavy-duty canopy tent. Also make sure to look at things like warranty, wind ratings, just those extra things that give you confidence in your tent. Now, you are going to end up paying more for a tent that's truly considered heavy duty. That's expected, but you also have to consider the replacement cost down the road. We like to think it's better to make a bigger investment up front that we know can last a lifetime as opposed to replacing a cheap tent every couple of years.